Hey, what's up YouTubers, and welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts update video. It's been a minute since I recorded a update video, I think about a month. And I've still been on a thrift shop kick lately. I've been buying a lot of VHS. Actually, most of this update is going to be VHS. I do have a little stack of Betamax tapes. I have some DVD, TV shows, a little stack of Blu-Rays right here. I have one new release, I'll show that first. And joining me, as usual, are the two ladies. Front and center is Miss Hannah, and off in the back is Miss Heidi. I also have a couple of framed posters I'll be showing in this video, and I have a horror bust that I'm going to show at the very end. I'm pretty happy about that. So let's get ourselves a. It's been a while. I forgot how to do this. Let's get ourselves a beverage. Get something to snack on. Kick your feet up, and let's check out the. Man, am I rusty, hey? Let's check out the pickups that I got over the past month. Alright, so among all of this stackage of goodies here on the bed, I do have one new title, and this is a Blu-ray from Sub Rosa Studios called Hell on the Shelf. Kind of a take on the Elf on a Shelf. This is another Christmas holiday slasher. It was limited to 100 pieces. I believe it's already sold out. I've had this now for about a few weeks, and I haven't popped it in yet, but I do always enjoy the holiday horror movies. There's the disc art. It did come with a couple of cards here for advertisement. War of the God Monsters and Monster Seafood Wars. If I sound a little stuffy, it's just because I'm very tired. I traveled last week for work. I had to go to a different state for training, and I'm back now at home in my own bed and everything. I just feel exhausted. So I'm gonna record this in chill mode tonight. Record this as gonna be a chill mode video, and after this I'll probably hit the bed. But so the other advertising card is the Cthulhu trilogy. Also, I'm about 50 some odd subscribers away from 5,000, so thank you very much for that. If you haven't subbed yet, please consider doing so. It would be really great to hit that milestone of 5,000. I'm really looking forward to that. When I first started making videos, I didn't think there would ever be a chance that I'd hit 5,000, and I didn't even think about that number. And here I am, 52 away as I'm recording this video tonight, and it just blows me away. It's a great community, so thank you to whoever subscribed already, and if you are not subscribed so far, maybe you'll consider doing so, and thank you in advance for that. So that's the only new title I had for this update video. I do have a couple things coming in the mail, but we'll save those for the next update video. So I'm going to start randomly pulling from a pile of VHS just to show you guys what I picked up, and we'll go through all of the VHS first, then I'll transition over to the DVD television series and some of the other stuff that I got. So this first one here is a radio classic. These are cassette tapes. These are called the Lost Shows of the Amos and Andy Show. And these were two guys who who were white, and on the radio they portrayed themselves as two black cab drivers named Amos and Andy. This is the collector's edition, volume 3. There are 6 audio cassettes and 6 hours. So even though these gentlemen are portrayed in blackface here on the cover, it was a radio show and they were never really seen. But there are the 6 cassette tapes. Something like this today certainly would not make it with the sensitivity that people have and the cancel culture that we are now living in. Not going to get any further into that. Not going to take this show off the rails here, but this box set came out in 1995, but the actual radio shows took place in the 40s, right around World War II. So it looks like a lot of these were recorded in 1944. But I do enjoy history, and I really enjoy the old-time radio, OTR. There's a huge collector's market for that stuff these days. And I really enjoy it, and I like to think I have a decent collection. I know there's a lot of guys who have way better collections than I do, and it's not a competition. I just grab the stuff that I like and collect the stuff that I really enjoy. So I was glad to add Amos and Andy to the OTR collection. Comes in this nice little clamshell. I really enjoy that. I like the way that that looks. It's a nice collector's piece. And even though this box set is about 30 years old, it still looks like it's in fairly new condition. So whoever had it took really good care of it, and I will continue to do so. Here's another clamshell of one of the best movies ever made, in my opinion. It's a great adventure movie, a great love story. It's like a fairy tale type movie. I have this movie on many different formats, so I thought I'd grab it for, I believe this was probably about 50 cents, and that is The Princess Bride. I have it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, Steelbook. I will probably most likely pick it up on 4K, although I'm kind of putting my foot down on a lot of the 4K releases just because I don't think it's very necessary. A lot of the movies that they're putting out on 4K, when I say they, I mean just about any distributor, Scream Factory, Arrow, you know, they just recently put out really good Blu-ray box sets, and then a year later they're putting out really good 4K box sets. It's not necessary to keep buying that stuff over and over. But, you know, if you're a collector, you do what you do, and everybody has their own threshold for how much money they want to spend and what they want to spend it on. You will never hear me harping on anybody for collecting. I have my own flaws and I have my own ways of collecting, so there are certain things, certain movies that I love that I will buy every edition of it. So it's just the way it goes, you know. But I will put my foot down on some of this stuff though for 4K. But everybody collects differently, so here's one that I wanted to add to the Disney collection. I did not own this movie in any format, and as you guys know, I have been collecting a lot of the Disney VHS stuff lately. And I have a pretty good DVD and Blu-ray collection for Disney, and I'm pretty proud of it. You know, I put that together. It took me a long time to put that collection, my entire collection together for that matter. And I know there's a lot of guys nowadays that I call them instant collectors. They go to a site like Diabolic DVD, and like within a few months they buy everything they see and they call themselves collectors. But I say slow and steady is, I'm more impressed with those kind of collections where a guy or gal who has been collecting for years, decades, puts together a nice collection. And so that is Sounder, and I was very glad to pick this up. You can see I picked it up for $1, or 98 cents actually, at St. Vincent de Paul. And this will be a nice addition to my Disney VHS collection. And another VHS that I picked up. This is not a Disney movie. It's called The Princess and the Goblin, just because I like these kind of movies and the price was right. And this will go good with my animation collection. I don't remember ever seeing this movie, but it does look like kind of like that Ralph Bakshi type animation, although it is not. It's not Bakshi, but it looks very, very similar to some of the monsters that you would see in some of his productions. And I thought it looked really good, and I wanted to grab it. I think it was less than $1 for this one as well. That is The Princess and the Goblin. If you guys have ever seen this and you want to talk a little bit about it, just leave a comment. Okay, continuing on. I've been hitting a lot of thrift shops lately. Since about like last summer, I've been really addicted to it. But I don't grab everything I see, and as a matter of fact, I'm very, very picky. But when I see some of these movies, these classic movies that are in really good condition, I like to feel like I'm saving them from these thrift shops, bring them home, clean them up, throw them in a plastic case like this, and these are, you know, pieces of history from a format that is long forgotten. I'm sure there are people watching this video right now who don't even know what a VHS tape was, let alone ever held one or rented any. So this is probably my favorite Burt Reynolds movie, called Deliverance. And it's not a horror movie, but there are definitely some horror elements to it. And I'm not going to go through and give the synopsis or a review about the movie. I'm sure many of you, or most of you, have seen this movie by now, but it's very, very good. I definitely recommend it, and it's in really good shape. And when you put it in these plastic cases, it even looks better, and it will definitely look nice on the shelf. Picked up a couple of Clint Eastwood movies on VHS. These are two of my favorite actors of all time, Charlie Sheen, Clint Eastwood. And this is the movie called The Rookie. It's a buddy cop movie. One of the better buddy cop movies, in my opinion. I remember watching this in the movie theater. I believe it was early 90s. 1990, I believe. And there's old Clint. Here we go. The best buddy cop movie of the year. In my opinion, it's one of the better buddy cop movies ever. But everybody has their own opinions again, so put this stuff over here so it doesn't fall off the side of my bed here. The next one is a Dirty Harry movie, The Deadpool. And these were in really nice condition. I got these on average anywhere from like 50 cents to $1 a piece for these movies. The reason I've been buying a lot of thrift shop stuff lately is because you can buy a bunch of it for cheap, and there's not really a lot out right now that's new that I really feel the need to grab right away. There is a movie that Scream Factory just put out called Alligator. I will be picking that one up, but other than that, I don't feel the need to go spend hundreds of dollars on stuff just because it's a 4K upgrade or stuff like that. So, you know, there hasn't really been a lot on my radar. So that's another reason why I've been picking up a lot of these VHS tapes lately. And here's another Dirty Harry movie called The Enforcer. And these movies are excellent. I have the Blu-ray box set of all the Dirty Harry movies. I'm waiting for, I just got done telling you guys I don't care about 4K. But if they ever do, and I'm sure they will, release a Dirty Harry 4K box set, I will be all over that. That will be one I get for sure. These movies are great. Okay, welcome back. Where were we? Now, I'm recording at a different time, so I forgot where I left off. This is several hours after I recorded that first update portion. I think we left off on Deliverance, but anyway, we're moving right along, pulling from a pile here, and the first movie is Sling Blade. And this is one of my favorite movies of all time. I picked it up, I think it was about a quarter, 50 cents maybe, in brand new like condition. Slapped it in plastic, preserved it for my movie museum, I like to call it. So that is, if you guys have never seen this movie, I definitely recommend it. I'm sure most of you have. I've seen this movie multiple times. I can
I can recite it verbatim, word for word. It's a very, very good movie. Carl Childers is he's kind of an anti-hero in that movie, in a way. I mean, you could probably sit and talk about that movie for an hour, but we're going to keep moving on. I thought this was pretty cool. I had never seen this one before, and I do like to collect Disney stuff. So this is a Walt Disney Christmas VHS tape. This is not a clamshell. And you can see it has some of the stars of the show there. You got Donald and Pluto and Mickey, Santa. And it includes 5 or 6, maybe 7 shorts that are holiday themed from the Disney classic characters. And this thing was in really good shape too. I was glad to pick it up, add that to the collection. I got, let's see here, I actually picked up 2 of the Lethal Weapon. And they're both in really good condition. I picked up one of them, I don't remember which now, but I picked one of them up at St. Vincent de Paul in Milwaukee. They had the trilogy, or part 1, 2, and 3 were there. And the first one was in mint condition, like perfect. The other 2 were in really good condition as well, but somebody wrote their name with black marker right across the top, with their last name or whatever it was. So I left part 2 and 3 behind. I grabbed part 1. And I was going to look for part 2 and 3. If I wasn't going to like go out of my way to look for them, but if I ever saw them, I was going to grab them. And then when I was in Minnesota last week, I found these 2. And they were in really good shape too. So I have an extra Lethal Weapon. I can save it or keep it or trade it and give it away. Who knows what I'll do. It doesn't really matter. These are just VHS. They're almost giving these things away, so it's not a big deal. But I like to grab these classic, these another cop buddy movies. Some of the better movies that you'll ever find from the 80s, the late 80s, 1989 for part 2 and 1987 for part 1. Everybody knows the Lethal Weapon franchise. I picked up T2, Judgment Day. I think this is my favorite Terminator movie in the franchise. Between this one or part 1, I think. But this one is excellent. It has a great soundtrack. Another movie that was in perfect condition. You know, it's really getting harder and harder to find VHS, period. Let alone to find them in really good condition. So that's why I feel like when I find these out in the thrift shop world, I feel like I'm saving them and preserving them, keeping them in my movie museum. Next one is kind of a sci-fi horror movie called Pitch Black. And this one was 50 cents at St. Vincent de Paul. Kind of a more modernish sci-fi horror movie. 20 years old already. Let's see, over 20 years old. It came out in 1999, so it's about 22, 23 years old already. Man, time's flying. It doesn't seem like that movie's 23 years old already. Another one of the best movies ever made, in my opinion, The Sixth Sense. The first time I saw this movie, it blew me away. Did not see it coming. And even rewatching this movie, knowing what's going to happen at the end and knowing what the outcome of the movie is, it's still a very excellent movie, in my opinion. So they call this one the exclusive video bonus edition. I guess there are some bonus features, believe it or not, on a VHS tape. It has a conversation with M. Night Shyamalan, interviews with the cast, rules, and clues. So that was kind of a little bit ahead of its time, actually. A lot of VHS didn't have bonus features back then. And obviously you'd probably have to watch it after the movie, you know, because there's not a menu screen or anything. Everything's on tape on here. So That's kind of rare to see bonus features on a VHS tape. Here's a Star Trek VHS with a lenticular cover. This is First Contact. I don't know if you guys can see that kind of transforming there, but it looks really cool in person. Another one from St. Vincent de Paul. I really like going to St. Vincent de Paul, not because they're cheaper, but it seems like they only put out stuff that's in really good shape. And I'm sure that there are people that donate a bunch of stuff to St. Vincent de Paul that doesn't make the floor just because it might have stains on it or rips, or maybe it's missing the cover. St. Vincent de Paul only puts out pretty much the cream of the crop stuff that they get. So, and they have very, very fair pricing. Whereas Goodwill, although I do love Goodwill as well, they're getting ridiculous with their prices. I'm gonna slow down my buying at Goodwill. Gonna save my money for Salvation Army and St. Vincent de Paul. Those two companies are the best price-wise. I think you get the best deals. So here's another tough guy from the 80s, late 70s and 80s. This is Chuck Norris in a movie I've never even heard of before called Hellbound, but it looks awesome. Hey man, you got Chuck Norris on the cover with explosions in the background. How can you not pick that up? So if anybody wants to comment on this 1993 action film starring Chuck Norris, put up by Canon Video, please leave a comment below and let me know what I'm getting into on that one. Here's one called The Lawnmower Man, another kind of a sci-fi horror starring Jeff Fahey and Pierce Brosnan. This is kind of one of those mind trip movies. Looks like this one came out in 1992. There's a very young Pierce, and you can see it's kind of a mind trip type movie. Just going to keep moving because I do have a lot to show. Here's a classic. I have this on DVD and Blu-ray and now VHS. This is Robert Redford and Paul Newman in The Sting. Classic movie. Movie from 1973. It won 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Here's the Duke and Kirk Douglas in The War Wagon. 1967. So right around this same time, the same era, 1967, Clint Eastwood and some other actors were really getting into the spaghetti western. They were kind of the front runners of the genre at that time. And the old Duke and some of these American westerns were, they were still popular, but spaghetti western was taking over at this point when this movie was made. The western always was very popular, though it never really fell out of favor in the American eyes. Here's another great movie, Platoon. A very graphic depiction of war. This is an Oliver Stone picture. Another Charlie Sheen movie. He's one of my, as weird as that guy is in real life, he's one hell of an actor in my opinion. I don't agree with a lot of the things that he believes in. I'm not going to get into it. But when it just comes out to being a flat-out great actor, Charlie Sheen really is a great actor in my opinion. Another classic movie. The Major League Baseball played a game at this field last year, and brought back some fond memories of me. This is a movie I had seen one time. I really enjoyed it, but I'd never really felt the need to watch it again, but I just may after watching the Major League Baseball game there last year, and kind of brought back some memories. So when I saw this, I wasn't looking for it, but I saw it there and I thought, you know what, this is in really good shape. And it is a very good movie. Let me go ahead and put that in the museum here, the Walnuts Museum.
Here is Jurassic Park, the original. Very good movie, very entertaining. It's not a great movie in my opinion, but it's very solid. It's the best in the franchise, I think. My opinion again. You know, they say opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one and they usually stink. So take it for what it's worth. That's just my opinion. Jurassic Park is the best in that franchise. Part 1. Then I have... I'm going to give a shout out here. I don't really do shout outs too much anymore. I did a shout out video last week when I was in Minnesota, and I didn't like the way the video turned out. In that video I gave a few shout outs, but I'm going to give one in this video. This is going to be to L Movie Master. His name is Sebastian. I'm going to leave his link down below. He just came out with a video about the man that I'm going to show you here. I picked up 4 of his movies recently, over the past couple of weeks, past month, whatever. And it was by complete coincidence that I picked these up and he recorded his video. This was not planned on either of our parts. We never talked about this or discussed it. But I'm going to shout him out. He's one of my favorite people. I've been on YouTube as a viewer for about 11 or 12 years, and I've been recording videos for about 6 years, I think, or 7 maybe. Or if I want to be fancy, I'll say, you know, I record videos. People say that they film. I'm going to go film a video. Motherfucker, when was the last time anybody used film for anything? You're recording, okay? Well, anyway, I'm just trying to be funny there, but... yeah, I'm going to leave a link down below for L Movie Master, and he just did a Steven Seagal video that was pretty damn funny, I thought. I'm going to share that link with you guys. I want you to go over there and check it out. Show him some love, please. Subscribe to his channel. He desperately should have more subscribers, in my opinion, again. Yeah, anyway, here's Steven Seagal. These are in no order. How did he do it? He did his top 5 Steven Seagal movies. He ranked the first 5 movies from 1 to 5, which ones he thought was the best, 1 through 5. So I'm not going to tell you what he thought, so you're going to have to watch his video. But this one is Under Siege. This was 50 cents. Out for Justice, and that was something that was always pretty funny about Steven Seagal, at least in his early career. He had three-word titles for his movies. Out for Justice, Marked for Death, Above the Law. Or he should have called this one Under the Siege. But these are the 4 that I picked up. I thought these were very entertaining movies back in the day. I think Above the Law... See, I'm not really a Steven Seagal buff, expert, whatever you want to call it. I can't remember which one came first. Was Above the Law his first movie? I don't recall. But these were really fun back in the, what was it, late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, 1988 for this one. Marked for Death was 1995, so that was quite a bit later. Under Siege was 1992, and Out for Justice was 1991. So yeah, I believe this was his first one, at least the first one that I have of his. He may have done movies before that. Like I say, I'm not a buff. I'm not even really a Steven Seagal fan. I just like his earliest stuff, I guess. It's entertaining enough. I bought a Bruce Lee box set. I think this was $4. It was $3.99 if I remember. This is the Master Bruce Lee collection. I have everything that he doesn't have a big catalog, obviously. He died a very young man. Very tragic circumstances how he passed away. at such a young age, so he didn't really get to
make very many movies, but the ones that he made were very good. And I do have them on DVD and Blu-ray, and now VHS. So, first one here is Fists of Fury. Game of Death. The Chinese Connection. The Legend. And these are all in really, really good condition. I mean, they're like razor sharp. And here's Return of the Dragon. And it came in this really nice box. And you know, when I see stuff like this, I want to save it and bring it home. And pretty happy about that. There are people out there who take really good care of their stuff, and it's good to know. And then there's also people who just have stuff and they destroy it. I try to be one that takes really good care of my stuff. I did get a couple of box sets here. I have Saving Private Ryan, another excellent movie. I love these epic war movies. This is called the Special Edition. It opens up to another kind of a slip box. And then you have the 3 or 2 tapes in there. Hard to see because that flash kind of washes out that background there. But yeah, I do have this a couple of different times too. That's a great movie. Believe it or not, I've never seen Braveheart. I know that's, you know, probably not a good thing that I didn't see Braveheart, because I hear good things about it. I don't think I even own Braveheart other than right now on VHS, so I should probably get that at least on DVD at some point and watch it. But this is Mel Gibson and Braveheart. It's a 2-disc box set. Got this for 98 cents at St. Vincent de Paul, which to me is a steal. It's getting harder and harder to find these box sets. And I got another great movie. This one's called The Deer Hunter, starring Robert De Niro. Another kind of war-themed movie. How friends change during their time in the service, and when they come home, things change. I'm not going to give it away. This is a very, very good movie. I think it's underrated, actually. More people should talk about it. But if you haven't seen Deer Hunter, do check it out. And let's jump into these Betamax. Do you guys remember Betamax tapes? Betamax and VHS came out right around the same time. The story goes that the porno industry, the adult film industry, chose the VHS format, and therefore that's why VHS became more prominent than Beta. And Beta eventually was wiped out of existence. People did have Beta movies, but there wasn't nearly as many movies released on Betamax as there were on VHS. So eventually Betamax just kind of faded away from existence, and everybody rented VHS tapes. That's a story about Betamax. This is Star Trek IV, the Voyage Home. I'm going to do a little side-by-side comparison, because I'm sure some of you have never seen a Betamax tape before, or even heard that name. So we will slide the tape out, if I can do that one-handed here. I can do that. And we will do a side-by-side comparison to a VHS tape. And here is the Deer Hunter VHS tape. Here is Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. You can see that side-by-side. And if you look at it that way, it's a good probably inch shorter. And it's a little bit thinner width-wise. But as far as the thickness of it, they are about the same. It's just shorter and thinner, I guess. So let me pause this here and we'll put some stuff away and keep going. So maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't. But we're going to keep moving on here. I picked up 2 of the Godfather movies. These movies were so long that they had to have 2 tapes, not just on beta, but on VHS as well. So we're still in beta here. This is the Godfather Part 1, cassette number 2, and cassette number 1. So you would actually have to watch cassette 1 first. And once that tape was done, you'd rewind it, put in tape 2 to finish the movie. Because these movies were like 3.5, 4 hours long. And these are really cool to have. Again, I did not seek these. I did not go out looking specifically for these Betamax tapes. But I did see them. And I thought the price was really good. Although Betamax are way more rare than VHS just because they didn't make as many. So these were, I think, $4 total, $2 each for the Godfather Part 1, and then here's the Godfather Part 2. Same thing, it's a 4-hour movie, so you had cassette tape number 1 and cassette number 2, and they have unique artwork on the back. A lot of people dog Part 2. Everybody seems to love Part 1 the best, and I agree. But Part 2 is damn good. Part 2 is so good. Even Part 3 is good, and I think the majority of people will tell you that Part 3 is the worst of the trilogy, and I agree with that as well. But Part 3 is still very good. But Part 2 is so good, though. Alright, we're going to pause it here. That is the end of the tapes. Now we're going to get into DVDs and Blu-rays. Okay, it seemed like we limped through this video. I apologize if it wasn't as polished. When I say that, that's tongue-in-cheek. My videos are never polished or edited. It just seemed like this one had a few hiccups in it. So if you're still watching, thank you. And thank you as always for any of the support that you give my channel, whether it be a thumbs up or even a view or a comment or all three. I mean, I appreciate every and all of it. So let's finish up here with the DVDs. Then I'm going to show you guys some posters I got framed up. And then I'm going to show you guys a horror bust that I got too. I picked up Roseanne, the first season, and I love this show. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed the Halloween editions, Halloween specials that she put out every year. And I was glad to pick up, I think this was $2. It's the complete first season. They have them kind of stacked like the Mill Creek DVDs, multi-packs are. It's 3 discs, and they come in their own paper sleeves. And whoever owned this hardly ever watched them because they look like mirrors. I mean, they're perfect. So I got the complete first and a complete second season. It was $4 combined for the 2, which I thought was a steal. You get 47 episodes for $4. That's great. I love that show. I love Roseanne. I think she got a raw deal. We're not going to get into that either, but she really got screwed. The world that we're living in now, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Saved by the Bell, seasons 1 and 2. And Saved by the Bell, seasons 3 and 4. And again, these are in really good condition. Very fun show. I think these were $3 a piece. They were... Yeah, I think these were $2.99 a piece at a Goodwill, which still is a good deal to me for a complete season 1 and 2 for $3 is a really good deal. So now I have the first 4 seasons of Saved by the Bell. This is a show I won't buy every single series, or every season I should say. Probably just the first couple is good enough for me, just to have those in the collection, pop them in once in a while. I picked up The Hills Have Eyes 2, unrated. Now this is the sequel to the remake. So this is the remake part 2, not the original. And I thought the remakes were better than the originals. They were definitely more gory. They had better kills, better technology and everything. I owned this already on DVD, but I didn't have this slipcover, so I picked it up just for that slipcover.
It's really nice. I believe there's also a different slipcover that's lenticular. I could be wrong about that. Maybe that was part 1, but I think part 1 and 2 had a lenticular. I'll have to look into that. But this slipcover is really cool, and I was glad to pick it up. Picked up a Western starring Eli Wallach called Ace High. Eli Wallach was really good. He was a really good actor. This is a movie from 1968. It's directed by Giuseppe Colizzi. Terrence Hill is also in this movie. Kevin McCarthy, who you guys may remember from the original, The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And Bud Spencer is also in here too, so it's a Terrence Hill, Bud Spencer, Eli Wallach collab. Cool. Glad to have that. I also picked up, this is Spinal Tap. I'd never owned this movie before, and then about a couple months ago I found the VHS tape, and it was in really good condition, so I picked it up. And so I saw this DVD, and it was in good shape too. I went ahead and grabbed it. It comes in this nice silver case, had the insert, the little 2-page leaflet, booklet, whatever you want to call it. It's in really good condition. So I thought it was high time I picked this up, and I may even pop this in soon, check it out. If I like it, I may upgrade it to Blu-ray. I may not. We will see. And I got a little stack here on Blu-ray, not much. Nothing to knock your socks off. And this is Monster Trucks. This is kind of a horror comedy, I'm guessing, just by looking at the cover. It's a Blu-ray DVD. There's no digital code. I bought this used. I don't know if it's a horror movie. Looks like, is that Rob Lowe? I really don't know much about the movie. It's from 2017, and when I say I don't know much about the movie, I really mean I don't know anything about the movie. It's rated PG. When I picked it up, I thought it was something like a trauma movie where the cars are coming to life. Get it? Monster Trucks. But now that I'm looking at it more, I'm not necessarily sure that's true. So I don't know. If anybody knows about that, you can comment down below. Here's a cool box set, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo Blu-ray. Blu-ray DVD combo. Comes in this nice little box set, kind of a digipack. It's a 3-disc set. Very, very nice. And this is a movie I have never seen before either. And I know it was pretty popular some years back. When did it come out? 10, 12 years ago? Maybe longer even. Like I said, man, time is really passing me by. 12 years ago it looks like. Or, yeah, 12 years ago. So to pick that up for a couple bucks, if this is a pile of garbage, then I will, I'm not out anything, you know. It's not like I paid $25 for that. So this one I already owned. This was also $2. This is the Digibook with the lenticular of the Man of Steel, and I couldn't believe I saw this for $2. I grabbed it. I have this already, and it's still sealed. I have never watched this movie. But now that I have it for $2, that's pretty cool, man. It's a probably 25 or 30 page Digibook. That's really nice. And it's a 3-disc set, so I don't know why somebody would just give that to a Goodwill or a thrift shop. You could probably sell that for maybe $10 or something. Maybe people just don't care. Now that I mention it like that out loud, I wouldn't care either. Who cares if it's $10? The only time I would sell things on eBay anymore is if I'm going to get some pretty good money. I'm not going to sell this nickel and dime stuff for $10. And then here's another one that I own already, but I never did have the slipcover. Toy Story of Terror is a movie that I got for free initially from the Disney Movie Club. I redeemed some of my reward points from the website, and they sent me this movie, but it didn't have the slipcover.
So now I've picked this up at a Goodwill, and it had the slipcover, so pretty cool. I have to clean it up a little bit. It looks like it's got some fingerprints and stuff on it, but all right. We got one more show to show you, then we'll show you a couple of posters, and then we'll wrap it up with the bust. All right, so this last show here, these are Blu-rays. I think, no, these are DVDs. Yeah, I don't think this ever came out on Blu-ray. These are DVDs of one of definitely my top 5 sitcoms of all time. It's between Everybody Loves Raymond, which this one is, My Name is Earl, 2.5 Men, Martin, and Sanford and Son. Those are my 5 favorite sitcoms of all time. And I think this is number 2 on my top 5. But I got every single season for $2 a piece at a Salvation Army. And I think these were the box sets that came in the house box set. You know, there was that big cardboard box of the house, and then these kind of sat. You can open up the, I guess, the roof of the house, and then inside sat these little boxes. So I have the complete series. I got these for $2 each. What a steal. And I made sure that all the discs were in here. They were all in really good condition. For some reason it didn't come with the house. I'm going to try to find that on eBay, just the house alone, the empty house, and I can put all these in there. But there we have season 1 is a 5-disc set. Season 2, again, another 5-disc set. Season 3, same. Season 4. And the show is so good. It makes me happy for some reason when I watch this show. Like, you can be down in the dumps or just not feeling good. Put that show on and it like warms your soul. Here's season 6, 7, 8, and all of those are 5-disc sets, and then season 9 was 4 discs. And such a great show, great characters. And then it also came with a little hardcover book. This is the, how come my mind went blank? What do you call it? The script, I guess, for the finale. This is the script, a copy of the script in this little hardbound edition here. It's really cool. Very, very nice. So I thought that was probably one of my favorite pickups in a long time, to get those for $2 a piece. So basically for under $20, I got the entire show Everybody Loves Raymond in brand new like condition. It's just missing the house. If anybody has the house, just the house, and you want to sell it or trade it, please comment down below, let me know. Otherwise, I'll have fun searching for that. It doesn't bother me. Just give me something else to do. I have a hobby of collecting anyway, so I think the search is half of the fun, and I'll find it eventually somewhere at a thrift shop. Somebody will have just the empty house for a couple bucks, and I'll buy it, and then I'll put them together. Same thing with eBay. Somebody will be selling it, just the house. So I'm gonna stop it here, put some stuff away, and then we're going to continue with the posters. Alright, so I do have 4 posters. These are original posters, which actually hung in movie theaters. These are not replicas. I bought these from people who sell only authentic posters, and I will leave some links down below if you guys are interested. But these first, I think these first 2 that I'm going to show you are American sellers, and the last 2 are foreign sellers, and I'll get to those, tell you about those when we do get to them. But this is from 1993. This is Friday the 13th. Jason Goes to Hell. And this poster was printed on both sides to give it a deep, rich color. So on the front side, everything you can read it. On the back side, it's a reversed print, and it's really cool. It's a really, really cool poster. It says evil has finally found a home. Movie is not so good, but the poster is great. So that is the first one. Again, this is another original poster. This hung in a movie theater in 1988, I believe. Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. Another one of my kind of, I guess, least favorite of the franchise, but it's still a very, very cool poster. It's still a fun movie. It's just not one of my favorites. Up here at the top it says, on Friday the 13th, Jason is back, but this time something's waiting. Got a really good deal, in my opinion, on these two posters. I got both of those Jason posters from the same guy. I will leave his link down below. This one is amazing. When I saw this one, I had to have it. It was a little pricey. This is from a foreign seller. This one hung in a movie theater in Istanbul, Turkey in 1981. This is Friday the 13th Part 2 from 1981. And that is Amy Steele there on the front. She played Ginny. She played Ginny in the movie. And yeah, that is amazing. That paper, everything is in really good condition. It's a very, very thin paper. It's almost like a rice paper, almost, I don't want to say tissue paper, that makes it sound too cheap, but it's a very, very thin, kind of a crinkly paper. So I had to get that framed right away. And when I purchased this movie, or this poster, he gave me a freebie, which I had no idea he was sending to me, and I didn't pick it out, but it's a mini series that I absolutely love. I'm going to show you right now. Alright, so here is the last poster I'm going to show you guys for today. This is the same seller from Turkey. This is a mini series from 1980 called Shogun. I think it was like 5 episodes long, but the episodes were like 2 hours each. So it's like a really, really long movie, but it's beautiful. It takes place in Japan. It's an adventure, drama, historical piece about there's a lot of things going on in the movie. I don't want to give too much of it away if you haven't seen it. But it's excellent. And Richard Chamberlain is so good in this movie. And check out this poster, man. It's just beautiful. All the different colors. Again, it was like that really kind of a thin, almost like a rice paper. Very crinkly, and it seems like it could be damaged very easily. But as soon as I put it in that frame, everything just kind of seemed like it's solidified, so I feel pretty comfortable with it. The colors pop. It looks really good. For a poster that's over 40 years old, it looks really, really good. And I do recommend the mini-series if you guys have never watched it. It's beautiful. Alright, that will do it for the posters. Now let us take a look at the horror bust I have, and then we will conclude the video. Alright, so the last piece for this video, before I get into it, I just want to say if you guys want to help to support the channel, I talked about it earlier, but if you want to help me reach 5,000, you could like the video. You could leave a comment to show support. Even just clicking on the video and watching it shows support. You can spread the word. I would really love to get to 5,000. So if you can help me do that, I would very much appreciate it. And if you watched this far, please leave a comment. Hashtag quest for 5,000. It would mean a lot to me, and it would be kind of a wink and a nod to me that you did watch this far. And it means a lot to me. So this is a bust of the Spanish blind dead Knight Templars from Armando de Ossorio's The Blind Dead Quadrilogy. I picked this up from a Etsy seller, and it looks amazing. It probably doesn't look as good through my phone as it does in person, but you got the Templar Knight hood, you got the gray beard. It's really, really nice. Looking at it through my phone, it almost looks kind of cheapish, but when you see it in person, it looks like almost like museum quality bust. It's really, really cool. So that will do it. I waited several months for this. I think I ordered that. It took 6 months. I think he doesn't start making it until you place the order. So I think it was like a good 6 months or so from the time I placed the order till the time I got it. But yeah, it's supposed to look like it's kind of stained up and dirty and filthy, like these guys have been kind of, you know, living through the cobwebs in a tomb, waiting to rise up again. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I will see you next time. Later.